Every single second, Americans eat roughly 350 slices of pizza. Scale that worldwide and you're looking at a $150 billion obsession. But 14,000 years ago, in a desert in modern-day Jordan, someone pressed raw grain onto a scorching stone and created the first flatbread. No cheese, no tomato, no Italy. The journey from that charred paste to the planet's most universal food starts long before anyone expects. 7,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent, early bakers improved this basic cooking technology, using ceramic trays to bake flat loaves seasoned with animal fat. Soon, ancient civilizations turned these portable slabs into daily meals. Egyptians baked flatbreads flavored with herbs and oil, while the Greeks created plakous, adding onions, garlic, and cheese to the dough before baking it on a hot hearth. Roman soldiers marched across Europe carrying dried flatbreads, rehydrating them with olive oil, while the writer Cato the Elder recorded recipes for libum, a cheese and honey bread baked on bay leaves. By the 5th century, imperial kitchens described in the Apicius cookery books were dressing flat doughs with cheese and honey. But the actual word pizza took centuries more to surface. It first appeared in a Latin legal document from Gaeta in 997 AD, requiring a tenant to pay the local bishop a yearly rent of 12 pizzas. By the 18th century, Naples had swelled into Europe's second largest city, a crowded, beautiful, and deeply unequal metropolis. At the bottom of this social ladder lived the Lazzaroni, an army of working poor who spent their lives on the streets, desperate for cheap, fast, and portable calories. To feed them, street vendors called pizzaioli sold simple flatbreads smeared with lard, garlic, and coarse salt. But the modern pizza required one unexpected ingredient: the tomato. Introduced from the Americas in the 1500s, tomatoes were feared as poisonous for roughly 2 centuries, widely suspected of being toxic and called poison apples. Driven by sheer necessity, Naples' poorest residents eventually took a gamble on the red fruit. By the 1750s, tomato-topped flatbreads were common on the city's docks. Wealthy foreign tourists publicly sneered at this messy food, writing in their journals about the disgusting habits of peasants eating with their fingers. Yet, those same elites kept buying slices, unable to resist the rich aroma of baking dough and hot fruit filling the narrow alleyways. In June 1889, the newly unified Kingdom of Italy was struggling to forge a single national identity out of deeply divided regions. To win over the skeptical South, King Umberto I and Queen Margherita toured Naples. The royal court summoned the city's leading baker, Raffaele Esposito, to prepare local specialties. Esposito baked 3 flatbreads, but the Queen favoured a combination of red tomatoes, white mozzarella, and green basil, mirroring the colours of the flag. Although Pizzeria Brandi still displays a royal thank you note, historians argue the document is a clever forgery created years later for marketing prestige. Instead of inventing a new dish, the legend successfully rebranded a poor man's street food into a patriotic symbol. The exceptional texture of Neapolitan pizza relies on microscopic chemistry. It starts with Tipo 00 flour. This finely ground wheat behaves differently than American bread flour, absorbing water to form an elastic gluten network of interconnected proteins. Naples' naturally soft water, containing minimal calcium, keeps this protein structure supple and easy to stretch by hand without tearing. The real transformation requires time. Pizzaiolos let the dough ferment in a cold environment for 24 to 72 hours. During this long rest, yeast and lactic acid bacteria slowly break down starches into simple sugars, building rich flavour compounds and relaxing the gluten. When this stretched dough enters a wood-fired brick oven heated to 905 degrees Fahrenheit, it cooks in under 90 seconds. This extreme heat vaporizes water inside the dough instantly, inflating the crust into a puffed, airy rim. Simultaneously, the Maillard reaction bonds sugars and amino acids, generating hundreds of savoury compounds. The characteristic black blistered spots on the crust are not burnt, they are intentional pockets of caramelized flavor. Between 1880 and 1920, 4 million Italian immigrants arrived in the United States, carrying their regional customs across the Atlantic. Most came from southern Italy and Sicily, settling in crowded neighborhoods in New York, Boston, and Chicago. To recreate a taste of home, they adapted their baking traditions to a new environment. In 1905, Gennaro Lombardi opened America's first documented pizzeria at 53.5 Spring Street in Manhattan's Little Italy. But this new American pizza began to diverge from its Neapolitan ancestor. Instead of wood, bakers used local coal-fired brick ovens. Combined with New York's mineral-rich water and local high-gluten flour, the crust became crispier and more robust. For decades, these smoky, savory pies remained a neighborhood secret. Through the 1920s and the 1930s, these bakeries served almost exclusively Italian immigrant families, while the rest of America remained completely unaware of the dish. Between 1943 and 1945, more than 1 million American soldiers stationed in Italy encountered pizza in Naples and Rome. When they returned home, they brought an insatiable craving back with them. Meeting this sudden demand required a technical leap. In 1945, returning veteran Ira Nevin built a gas-fired, ceramic-lined pizza oven. This single invention allowed suburban entrepreneurs to mass-produce pies quickly and cheaply without needing traditional coal-fired hearths. By 1950, pizza had entered mainstream American cookbooks, and the rapid expansion began. Shakey's debuted in 1954 as the first major franchise, followed in 1958 by Pizza Hut, launched in Kansas with a $600 loan. Domino's arrived in 1960, pushing delivery to suburban living rooms, where families gathered around new television sets. Meanwhile, the Celentano brothers introduced the first commercial frozen pizza in 1957. This era of fast-paced experimentation even crossed borders. In 1962, Canadian restaurateur Sam Panopoulos added canned pineapple and ham to a pie, creating the highly controversial Hawaiian pizza. By 1970, America boasted over 50,000 pizzerias. As pizza went national, American cities immediately pulled it back into fierce local rivalries. New York claimed the folded 18-inch slice, eaten standing up on busy street corners. Chicago went deep, where Ike Sewell's 1943 creation layered cheese at the bottom and sauce on top. In Detroit, bakers seized industrial blue steel automotive pans to fry the crust edges in caramelized cheese. New Haven insisted on coal-fired, charred pizza laden with garlic and fresh clams, while St. Louis championed an unleavened cracker crust, sliced into squares and topped with Provel cheese. Every city defends its own crust as the sole standard, viewing all other variations as cheap imitations. Across the oceans, pizza adapted to national palates, establishing deep-rooted local traditions rather than passing gimmicks. In Japan, standard menus feature a combination of sweet corn, mayonnaise, squid, and sliced potato. South Korean kitchens favor sweet potato mousse, shrimp, and marinated bulgogi beef. In Brazil, dessert pizzas topped with chocolate, banana, or sweet guava are mainstream staples. Sweden's local favorite pairs banana with savory peanuts, while Australia's classic Australiana uses egg, bacon, and barbecue sauce. Indian pizzerias widely feature paneer tikka and tandoori chicken, and Russian regional recipes highlight red herring and onion. These topping combinations represent long-standing cultural preferences, reflecting how different nations integrated the dish into their own daily culinary heritage. By the 1990s, fast food dominance had cheapened pizza's image. A backlash was already brewing, sparked in the 1980s when California chefs like Wolfgang Puck introduced gourmet toppings. By the 2000s, this evolved into a full-scale restoration of authentic methods. The Associazione Verace Pizza Napoletana began certifying pizzerias globally to to enforce strict historical rules, turning historic spots like Naples Pizzeria da Michele into international pilgrimage destinations. In 2017, UNESCO added Neapolitan pizza making to its cultural heritage list. Yet, this devotion to heritage coexists with modern spectacle, where ultra-luxury versions featuring truffles, caviar, and gold foil sell for $2,700. Today, pizza is no longer just a recipe, it is a universal canvas. As kitchens worldwide continuously reinvent the crust, this humble food proves that the most enduring traditions are those we are willing to change. What's your favourite local style? Let us know in the comments.